Good day. Today I've got a special message specifically for young pastors and church planters. This is a period in which people are starting to plant churches and really do what they feel they are called to do. But I find as a church planter too, I've just planted a church just over a year ago. But what I find is that in some areas, there's people that really doubt your calling. There's people who want to second guess what God is doing through you. And I want to state that that's not new. The Apostle Paul wrote a letter to Timothy, a young preacher, and that letter is found in 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 12. And he says, "Don't let anyone look down on you because you are young, but set an example for the believers in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, and in purity." Excuse me. So don't allow, that's what Paul says, don't allow anyone to look down on you. He says that to Timothy. But he then gives them a responsibility and he says to him, set an example. Show forth what is good in your conduct, in how you talk, and in your faith. And those things will then distinguish you as this called leader. And the same message that was for Timothy in that time is the same message to us as young preachers. I come from a history of pastors in my family, but I know that I can't bask in their glory. I need to also find my own space and my own rhythm. But my rhythm must not be, I must not lose my rhythm because of what people think or say about me. But I must live up to what the calling says. And I just want to encourage you and say to you, you must be guaranteed that there will be someone who looks down on your calling. But don't allow that to be an indicator of how powerful God is, or how powerful you are, or what God is going to do through you. Everyone who starts up is going to have someone who looks down on them. Jesus, at a point in time, was amongst his people. And those that knew his biological background, his mother and father, they missed out on him. They missed out on the power that God had for them. But those that received him without second guessing him received from Christ. So if Christ received or got people who looked down on him, who are you, or who am I also not to be looked down upon? But it is time for us to rise up, to stand for the gospel, and to be consistent. Preach it in season, preach it out of season. Live it. Conduct yourself in a way that is worthy of your call. Speak properly. Be in faith and have purity in your life. And watch what God will do through you. Because many will then start to respect not you, but God, and thank God for raising you as a young preacher, young woman who stood for the gospel. It is trying times where even the gospel now is being second guessed. So you are not going to be the only person who's second guessed, but even the message that you're going to be sharing will be second guessed. But I can tell you that God will do the work with that message. So even if that message is second guessed at that point, but as someone goes back home, they will ponder on what you said. They might see things that are related to what you said, and they'll come back to you, or they might not necessarily come back to you, but God will convict them of the message that you preach, and their lives will change forever. Be blessed.